Claire's Composer was found on SoundCloud. Fuck yeah, dude. The more we see about Claire Obscure, the more I love it. How much of an underdog story it was and the success that they're having. Couple that with the fact that Ubisoft really dropped the ball. Let me show you the clip real quick because I posted it on the Discord. Hang on. Because Asmon is the one who shared it, so we're gonna watch a quick Roach King video. But
and after Ubisoft earnings report, so bro, this was really funny for me to see this. There were a lot of people that were on like massive copium here that Assassin.
You remember how they were touting 2 million players, 3 million players. They were just breaking records, all of that stuff, but we never really saw how much they sold.
Assassin's Creed did super well. Here's the real question, right? If they announced that the company was doing really well and Assassin's Creed was actually a huge commercial success and it was the big game that everything was riding on, why was the result of this earnings report that the stock went down? That's a 20% drop.
If you go and actually listen to the earnings report, it's obvious why.
The quarter was marked by the Assassin's Creed Shadows release that launched on March 20, delivering the second highest day one sales revenue in franchise history, and setting a new record for Ubisoft Day 1 performance on the PlayStation Digital Store.
That's their highlight. A new record on the PlayStation Digital Store. PlayStation doesn't have games, so a game like this, of course it's going to perform really well. When I went to France, I went to Paris not too long ago. You couldn't see a display that did not have an Assassin's Creed Shadows advertisement for more than 2 minutes. I saw more advertisements for Assassin's Creed Shadows than I saw people with baguettes in France. Just think about that. It was insane, and by a long shot. I would say for every person with a baguette that I saw walking around in Paris, I must have seen like 10 or 15 advertisements for Assassin's Creed Shadows. Like, they had it plastered all over the place. So revenue is not profit, exactly. So every word here matters. And here comes the best part.
What is the sort of hurdle rate that Assassin's Creed Shadows has crossed in terms of units sold? Thank you.
Yes.
You heard that? Let's play that again.
What is the sort of hurdle rate that Assassin's Creed Shadows has crossed in terms of units sold? Thank you.
How many units did they sell?
So on Assassin's Creed Shadows, we don't disclose units sold.
They never actually said they sold 3 million copies.
They did not disclose the units sold in the earnings call of their shareholders. They did not tell the shareholders how many units they sold. And they completely dodged the question.
And instantly dodged the question.
Assassin's Creed Shadows has now been beat out by Assassin's Creed Odyssey, a game that was added to Steam almost 7 years ago. How many of you, whenever you're doing your report to your company that you work at, you tell your boss, I've got good news. We only lost $90 million. And 9/11, so Mighty Keith, 9/11.
Okay, the rest of this is just him going through Twitter comments. But look at this, dude. Look at, we knew, everyone knew that Assassin's Creed Shadows was not going to do that well. We all knew. Look at this, dude. To be frank, they might have issue with their subscription model in the Ubisoft launcher, which does not directly translate to units sold, which is probably the most valid excuse you would have. But still, you would have been able to say through our you would have been able to at least, if that had an impact, if enough people had subscribed to it to have that, you would have been able to show that off. Yes, we did not sell as many units, but look at how many people subscribed to Ubisoft Plus to play the game. You can 100% draw a correlation with that. You can 100% do that. And they chose not to. to the earnings call. I understand that they wouldn't just disclose this to the open public, but to not disclose it to your shareholders? Don't act surprised when you lose yet another 18% of your share value in a day. Like, this is what? Yeah, this is in a day that happened. Probably within the hour of them hanging up the call. That's how bad we are doing in terms of Western AAA. So forgive me if I'm optimistic about a Chinese game. No disclosing important information to shareholders. Real big brain. No, they had to disclose that they. Where was this?
We only lost
operating income at loss of approximately $92.5 million compared to a profit of $351 million the prior year. They lost $91 million for, and this is not just Assassin's Creed Shadows. This is Ubisoft fiscal year 24-25. So that means this is Skull and Bones, Star Wars Outlaws, Assassin's Creed Shadows. And I think they had a couple of other games as well. Net loss, $178.1 million compared to a net profit of $176.7 million the previous year. What games did Ubisoft release in 2023? We cannot tell the investors we sold 2 million copies, but we also estimate we got this much revenue from subscription because their shareholders probably have no fucking idea what it means in terms of retainment and how it affected their launcher. Yeah, but you have to give them something, because if you at least succeeded in one area, say the subscriptions, you can show, even though we didn't sell any solid copies, we can now rely on the subscription model because look at how much revenue we made. Turns out, not enough. They lost $178 million net. So the operating income, we're talking about $92.5 million in just gross loss. This is insane. This is insanely bad. You know what happens to somebody that loses your company $178.1 million net loss? They get fired. And there's a reason why Ubisoft got the are doing the affiliate, the subsidiaries with Tencent and everything, because this was really bad. What games did Ubisoft 2023 games, what did they release in 2023? Assassin's Creed Mirage, Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. Man, is this really it? Because fiscal year 23-24 would be the games that Ubisoft released in 2023. So this would be what counts for them. The Crew Motorfest. I would say The Crew and Just Dance carried Ubisoft in 2023. Because I know that... no, there you are wrong. It does overlap, doesn't it? It overlaps in a fucking... it's also residuals from games released previously. Right. But I mean, the bulk of your money would have to be your new releases. That's the reasonable thing. Because I don't think 2023 is when they came back to Steam, did they? Because I know that when they went back to Steam, they made a bunch of money because people bought stuff. DLC, subscriptions, yeah, not always. But I would say when it comes to Ubisoft, a bunch of their... I would be willing to bet. It would be reasonable to say that a bulk of the money they expect to make, the majority of the money they should expect to make is from the new releases. Valhalla has had some DLCs in 2023, and Valhalla sold really well. Valhalla said... When did Valhalla come out? Creed Valhalla. When did it come out? This one is 2020. A DLC 5 years in. Impressive. Respect for that. Let's just... yes, I'm from 1955. Let's see, what's their latest DLC? Dawn of Ragnarok. Okay. Oh. Okay. The Siege of... Oh, they have a Siege of Paris. Look at that. Okay, so Dawn of Ragnarok seems to be the latest one. It was from late 2022. At least on Steam. 147 reviews. So it is something. I'm pretty sure most of the other people would have gotten it through the launcher. But still, we extrapolated data last time. And even, like, we did the math last time, and we extrapolated based on how much we expected the Steam performance to be, how much the Ubisoft launcher went. Turns out that our numbers must have been pretty fucking close, because they lost 178 net. This is insane, dude. This is insane. This is insane. So yeah, you have that, and that would be like the exception. Like, you are operating on exceptions over here. I'm operating on, yes, they shouldn't. I don't think a DLC for a 5-year-old game is expected to perform as well as a fresh release. I don't think I need to give you 7 intellectual bullet points as to why this is. I don't think it was Shadows. I think it was mostly Skull and Bones being a complete flop. I would say Skull and Bones and Star Wars Outlaws. Those were likely the big culprits. Let's see the 2024 games. What else did they release last year? Outlaw, Skull and Bones, Prince of Persia. That one was also a flop. Beyond Good and Evil, they re-released it seems, and Battlecore Arena. Yep. It looks like these. Yeah, these were all flops, and Shadows would likely have been the nail in the coffin. I didn't even know there was a new Prince of Persia. Apparently there were 2. The Rogue Prince of Persia and Prince of Persia Lost Crown. 2 of them. And I know that Prince of Persia looked horrible. Like, I know for a fact that they took the Persia out of the Prince of Persia and they made him look at this. Does this look like the Prince of Persia to you? Oh, come on, give me a picture of the guy. He looks out of Sea of Thieves. He looks like he was dragged out of Sea of Thieves. Or fucking Apex Legends. So I think Shadows probably did average somewhat well based on IP alone. As far as I know, Shadows did not underperform. Prince of Detroit, yep, there you go. It really just looks... He looks fucking lame. The fuck is that? This is your new Prince of Persia. This is your new Prince of Persia, who probably went through 7 layers of HR before getting through. But this is your Prince of Persia, and this is how you know that game journalists are complete hacks. Look at this. I'm pretty sure the gameplay might have been okay, but yeah, this is your new Prince of Persia. Like, look at even the fucking pose that he has here. It just looks lame. Like, they took away our prince in the Prince of Persia. I haven't even played Prince of Persia. I just know that this does not look anywhere as good as the previous ones. So yeah, we had 2 Prince of Persia games, Skull and Bones, Star Wars Outlaws, Battlecore Arena, which this one I don't even want to know what it was. So fucking HR, give him a die cut and it's good. Yep, there you go. I think people like to equate Ubisoft trouble with Shadows because it's woke. I'm willing to bet you that probably was actually their pretty well-performing game. It's just enough to get them up financially. Here's the thing, right? Assassin's Creed, let me put the background music. Assassin's Creed is a franchise with the name recognition of Call of Duty, of Battlefield, of FIFA. Assassin's Creed is not something that should perform around the same range as Dragon Age. Dragon Age is a really good franchise. Dragon Age does not have the name recognition of your Call of Duties, of your Super Marios, of your Legend of Zelda. Assassin's Creed is up there. Assassin's Creed is like the bottom of the list of the high end. And they managed to barely outperform a Dragon Age game. They did okay, but okay is not acceptable for a game of this stature. And I think that's where the what's it called? That's where the shareholders agreed with me and with everyone that has any sort of sense. They failed. Assassin's Creed doing okay is not acceptable. Assassin's Creed needs to do great, and they haven't. The previous flops also disinterested players. It's kind of a domino effect. It's not a domino effect. It's a downward spiral. Because with dominoes, you can expect consistency. Like, it's just consistently bad. They have just kept getting worse. They're just getting worse because they have lost their sense of direction to the point that now Tencent will be guiding them back. And hope that Tencent will not release an Assassin's Creed flop. That's the hope that Ubisoft has, because Ubisoft is completely out. This was their last Hail Mary attempt, and they failed. Because the game doing okay wasn't good enough. And yes, I 100% agree with the criticism that the game having woke elements wasn't even in the top 20 reasons why this game was horrible. Like, it was a reason, it wasn't within the top 20. And I think the shareholders agreed, and so did the markets. Where's the fucking picture? Where's the picture? I lost the picture. And so did the market. Not much else to be said now, there is it. Ubisoft dug their own grave. And a lot of these AAA companies have been doing that. And I think it is because of all the layers of HR that so many of these things need to go through that a lot of these other developers don't have. Because one thing that I felt from Silver Palace, yeah, these guys just did whatever the fuck they wanted. They start their trailer with legs. One of man's favorite things to look at. Legs. So, if Silver Palace turns out to be just another gacha, this is a action RPG made by a Chinese studio. What the fuck do you think it's gonna be? With all these different characters being introduced, there's not one single character focal point in this trailer. The fuck do you think this is gonna be? This is going to be made to compete with Genshin. Because that's where a good chunk of the market is right now. You fucking hate gacha? I do too. I do too. Although with the recent rulings in Europe, we might see a change in gacha. I'm gonna tell you what I think would be an ideal gacha. My ideal model for gacha. You remove the gambling aspect for the characters. You just purchase the characters in the store. Like, you pay $5 for I forgot the names. You pay $5 for your character, and then the gambling aspect is for weapons, skins, and the gacha aspect becomes for weapons, skins, other cosmetics, and trinkets. Even trinkets, I'm a little bit iffy on, but there you go. I love gacha, I love gambling, all my life savings, there you go. So you do that, and I think the market becomes a lot healthier. And you can, the company can still have their money printing machine with the cool weapons and everything, because you know who did that for years and still does it, and no one calls them out on it? Counter-Strike. Granted, there's no new characters in Counter-Strike, but the skin gambling aspect of Counter-Strike has been a big problem for a long time, and no one cares. Why? Because it's cosmetic. Sneaky gambling is not, is why I don't play Genshin. Yeah, and Genshin, believe it or not, Genshin is the least aggressive. The least egregious of these. Now limited skins only, and it'll be widely popular, but not having many of the elaborate things. Basically monetize it like LoL. Yeah. Yeah, I think League of Legends, ever since they got rid of the pay-to-win thing that they had, yeah, I am all for, like, if you're gonna make it a gambling thing, a gacha thing, do it with skins. Only skins. Give them all the skins. So instead of releasing a new character every month, release a new skin every month. That way you have more time to flesh out your characters. Because I've seen that a lot of these characters in some of the gachas tend to have some issues. So 0.01 chance, fuck that. Yeah, 100% agreed. And I am all for that. I don't think that's what the companies would do. I think the companies would compromise with, okay, skins and weapons. I think that's what they would compromise on. Ideally, skins only. Cosmetics only. That's what I want. That's why I'm not dissing Counter-Strike, because Counter-Strike is skins only. Same with League of Legends and Dota. So, Legends of the Jade, one of the best models of monetization where you can earn all the characters without spending money. You main a couple, you have the money goes only into skins. Yeah. I played League of Legends for a bit back in 2015. It was fun. I had fun. Then we moved on to Dota, which Dota does the next step, which is you have all the characters. You can access all the characters, and you unlock parts of skins for each. It wasn't closed alpha. Jeez, you fucking nerd. But yeah, no. So yeah, I agree with you on principle. I agree with you. I don't think that's what companies would want to do. So I would be willing to concede. Okay, fine. That no PvP though. No PvP. If you're gonna be doing pay to win for weapons. I sold my first account for $300. I had the beta tester skin. I'm pretty sure you could have waited and sold it for more now. So yeah, there you go. In conclusion, Assassin's Creed. Who the fuck is gonna pay 500? Oh, you can save 3. I think this is because no, I'm not logged in here. You could have saved 10% on the Assassin's Creed bundle, but instead you can save 3% and pay $486.74 instead of $499.36. Dude, I didn't even want to make 3% off. No, I'm not logged in. I'm not logged in. This is the default. I thought for a moment, oh, is it because I own some of it? No, I'm not logged in. I'm using Opera. I don't log in for Opera. Which means this is the big sale that they give you. You're saving 100%, but you can't guess how. There you go. Oh my god. We want to clear obscure. Hang on. We have two more. We have a couple more videos. Let's see how much is this. Oh god. Okay, we need to triage. We need to triage. Because I really want to get started with clear obscure. I really do. So